What is going on, YouTube people? I have some new stop tape coming home. Plays have been made, as the kids like to say. The month of January and into early February, I have made some purchases. I was strongly considering skipping Journey Together altogether. I guess there's probably some wordplay in there. And I just did not feel comfortable at the $200 a box pre-order prices. I did not feel comfortable paying full MSRP off the rip, which was, not, I don't want to say readily available, but if you want to pay full MSRP, you could find boxes. It just, something about it felt off. Something about this entire set has felt a little off with the pre-pump that it's getting. And I just have a feeling it's going to correct somewhat. I don't think it's going to crash. If you paid $220 a box, it's probably going to feel like it crashed. But I feel like this thing is going to settle in slightly under MSRP once everything is said and done. And I had decided, basically mentally, I'm not touching this. When one of my LGSs, Freedom Gaming over in Canton, Ohio, North Canton, Ohio, put up a post on social saying they were pre-ordering boxes for $120 a box and limit one per. And Freedom's great. They've handled all these crazy releases really, really good. They are a fantastic LGS. I have zero issues with them across the board. I've pre-ordered tons of other product there. So I stopped in there this week. Initially, I was putting it off, and then so a viewer had messaged me and said, gave me a heads up, and said, hey, they're letting you pre-order 6 boxes, not a single. And I went, oh. So I went over there on Thursday afternoon, shortly after they opened, and put my pre-order in for 6. And then I found out Friday they capped out. Now, they don't pre-order their full list. They pre-order quite a bit, and then they hold some back for release day, which they also usually sell for the same price. They did the same thing with Prismatic Evolutions drops. Very, very fair on pricing. So I am in the Journey Together game for $120 a box plus a little tax. So whatever it ends up being, probably like $125 per box, $122, $123, whatever. But I am now in the Journey Together space. I have one case pre-ordered. I may have a line on another case, but it'll depend on distro. It does feel, and I've seen really mixed results on people talking about the set from distribution. I didn't get specific numbers from them, but just based off the pre-orders that they ran, if they were doing case quantities at 120, that makes me feel like they got quite a bit. I believe they get quite a bit of product, as they are one of the bigger buyers out there between the shop and online sales that they do. And I just have a sneaking suspicion that this set is going to have a pretty big pullback in price from this number. Long term, hey, you might still be fine. I just think it might take a long time to get there. I think part of the problem is I think there's going to be more supply than people think. I don't know that there's going to be a ton of supply. I just think there's going to be more than what the perception is. I also think this is going to hit around the same time as the Surging Sparks reprint. And what would you rather spend your money on? Sparks, which is proven, or Journey Together, which is probably a mid-tier set? Also, on top of that, Prismatic is going to keep coming out. You can only pull so many people's wallets in so many directions before something gets left behind. And then before you know it, we're going to be looking down the barrel of Black and White and Team Rocket. And people are going to want to allocate funds for that as well. Something has to get skipped. Not everyone can buy everything. And when you run down that list of stuff, this feels like the one that's going to get passed over. Once again, I do not think these are going to be $70 or $80 a box or anything crazy like that. I just think the $200 price point that it's listed at right now is insane. So move on from Journey Together. Let's talk about Prismatic a little bit. The other items that I have purchased this month to add to the portfolio, to use fancy buzzwords, surprise box. I've talked a ton about these. I now have, almost have 2 sealed cases of surprise boxes. The one is still making its way through the USPS network. So I don't have it in hand yet, but I did pick one up this past weekend from someone locally. I'm into one for about $360. I'm into the second one for about $380. So $60 to $63, $64 a surprise box. Yes, I paid full market value for them. If you're finding them at $25 a pop, you are printing money. I have a sneaking suspicion about these long term. I might ride some waves. There's probably a decent chance these things dip into the red on the old spreadsheet at some point in time, but I am okay with that. Out of the gate, we are seeing sales of the promos. Basically, at minimum, you're essentially getting $25 back on the promo cards. Now, right now, it's a little tricky. The market is still getting flooded with them. I expect things to kind of level out at some point in time. But you're basically getting a $20 to $25 bill at minimum inside every surprise box that you open. If you get an Umbreon, it's going to be drastically more than that. In addition to that, you're getting 4 packs. Packs alone are going for, let's just call it $10 a pop. So you got $40 in packs, plus at minimum $20 to $25 for a promo. You very quickly get to the $65 price point that they're going for. And that's not even factoring in the Umbreon and what this stuff's going to do graded and what happens when supply starts to dry up on these things. To me, and I've talked about this feels like a product that is less likely to get a heavy reprint, because I don't think they're already jammed up to begin with getting stuff out the door. I think the last thing that they want to do is go back and make something that has extra components in it, a special box that they've never done before, and stamped promos. Now, I'm not saying it could not be reprinted. There's a chance that it obviously can be. I just feel like their focus is going to be in other places. The other thing that, and I would take these in any way, shape, or form I could get them, especially at market price. At secondary market prices, I do like the idea of sealed cases of these. And once again, full disclosure, I own 2 sealed cases of these at full market price or near full market price for the boxes anyway. The reason I like sealed cases of these is I feel like these specialty edge case products in a sealed case format end up being way more rare. Now, I have no data to back that up. This is just a gut feeling thing. But this is a product that is mostly going to retail stores. It is designed to be opened and put on the shelf. That, in the past, has always led to sealed cases being very rare of these sorts of things, like binder collections. Sealed cases of binder collections you don't see very often. I'm a little salty about my sealed case of binder collections that the seller advertised as being a sealed case and then sent to me as an open case. I was not thrilled about that. That was an eBay purchase. They did end up crediting me back about $25 for the hassle, but I was just kind of annoyed because that is not what I wanted to buy. Same thing with like sealed mini tin displays, like any of those sorts of stuff that is not normally found in a sealed case. I like the idea of stashing cases of those. The wild card of the promo and what the promos end up doing, I'm just willing to bet on stamped promo FOMO. Once again, a little wordplay there. And what these could potentially do in the long run on the secondary market. Now, there is some risk because I paid up for them. I did not get them at retail, so I definitely have way more risk associated with these. If you could find these things at retail, I mean, they are a no-brainer. If you want to rip product, these are a no-brainer as well if you could find them at retail, because as a commenter mentioned in a video, you could basically open it, sell the promo, and you're essentially ripping for free. And if you could rip Prismatic for free, this is a real nice way to do it if you could get your hands on them at the $25 per they're supposed to retail for. That's the tricky part. So those are my plays / purchases / whatever you want to call them for the month of January / early February. Couple cases of surprise boxes, and a pre-order for a case of Journey Together at about 120. Let's just call it 125 a box. I feel really good about that. Surprise boxes I feel decent about just because of the sealed case nature. But we'll see what happens. It is a wild world out there. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not. We are creeping on the magic number of 1,000. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.